Good morning. Good morning. It is exciting to see you all get together for this exciting conference to share thoughts and ideas, learn from each other, and help us showcase a lot of work we have been doing over the past year or so. Empowering your business to be secure, simple, and productive is how we think about our primary job. There's no better time to be in IT than today. Why do I say so? IT is the cornerstone for the success of every business. Whether it's mobility that made us so productive, or it's cloud that made sure applications can be built and deployed faster. IoT, OT to collect all that telemetry we needed to do the next level of work, or now AI, ML kind of coming on the main stage. These technologies are driving the business. They're making them powerful and competitive. But technologies alone can only do so much. Transformation requires you as IT leaders to play a big role. These new technologies make you think differently because it's not the same old world. Rather than you think about building applications, it's more so consuming applications. That doesn't mean building is gone. But a lot of SaaS applications are making it easier to get started. The network-centric mindset has to change to user-centric mindset. It's no longer the world around the network. Security controls needs to move to risk-based decision-making. Okay. So inertia is the biggest thing that holds us back from changing because we have been doing things a certain way for a long, long time. Satya Nadella of Microsoft has often talked about rather than being know-it-all to learn-it-all mindset. I like to call it a child's mindset, who's always open to explore and think about how things need to be done. So disruptive technologies that are helping power our business, combined with new IT leader mindset, an open mindset that says, I don't need to keep on really sitting on the same old technologies I have had for the 30 years. I can explore new things. That's what this conference is about to show you, how networking and security can be reimagined, and it should be done differently. So at Zscaler, we focus on empowering your business, making it secure, making it simple, making it productive. Simple, I mean reducing complexity, reducing cost, and the like. Now, if all these technologies have come on the front, what's holding us back? I talked to hundreds and hundreds of customers. Some of the most common things that come back is essentially there's a lot of tech debt that has been accumulated over the years. Then that has to be taken care of. You can't do it overnight. And inertia, fear of change. Gee, I don't know about this. What happens to my job? Will it fundamentally change? And then what they call layer 8 and layer 9. It's people and politics. We all need to get past these things to make progress. Cybersecurity is on the front of every IT leader's mind, CEO's mind, and even the board of directors' mind. About $219 billion gets spent globally on security solutions, products, and services, and everything. That's lots and lots of money. Unfortunately, a lot of that money gets spent on legacy technologies. The biggest segment of the spend is firewalls. And breaches happen all the time. Tell me a single breach where they didn't have a firewall or VPN solution in place. Breach happens, you buy more firewalls, you buy more firewalls. It isn't helping. Why isn't our legacy technologies helping us? Well, let's look at how we do networking and security. So first of all, in early 90s, late 80s, The industry agreed upon IP-based network where you could buy standard routers and extend your data center to every branch office, every factory out there. And so that you go to the branch office, you get on the network, you move laterally, you find application, you connect. Fantastic, probably the biggest breakthrough in networking and distributed computing. And now, we extend the same network to every cloud region. Okay. And so network becomes flat and big. And then cloud comes. And the first question customer asks is, how do I move security to the cloud? What's the next natural old way of doing it? Well, let's pick my firewall and move it as a VM to the cloud. It's cloud security. How about VPN? Rather than me having a box in my data center, let's move the box to some cloud out there. Now, that's what vendors would like you to do. But they won't tell you that a firewall or VPN is a network device, it's an IP device. Wherever you put it, your network gets extended all over. It essentially becomes like a big highway system. Once I get on Highway 80 in San Francisco, I can reach New York, Miami, or Dallas without hitting a single light. But so can bad guys. So how do these attacks happen? Security can be very geeky, very complicated. But if you think about the breach, you can think about 4 simple stages. 1, they find you. They find your attack surface. In the world of cyber, your attack surface is any IP address that's exposed to the internet. It may be your firewall, it may be VPN, it may be your application portal. What if we could hide your attack surface? Number 2, they compromise you and everything bad comes from the internet. And being a proper checkpost to inspect all traffic and help prevent compromise. 3, they move laterally. A single infected machine on your network can traverse the whole network and bring everything down. We saw that with Maersk, when one machine brought the entire network down in 130-some countries. And the ships, their freight ships, were stranded in ports in Hong Kong and Singapore and New Jersey. And the freight couldn't be uploaded or downloaded because every IT system was down. That's the biggest risk of lateral threat movement, the biggest problem that's often exploited by ransomware folks. Number 4, they steal your data, and all stolen data, by and large, gets sent to the internet. So our focus is these 4 areas, rather than this box and that box. How do we really stop things at these 4 stages? This is where the Zero Trust architecture comes in. Zero Trust architecture is picked up a lot. Unfortunately, the term has been hijacked because it is the opposite of firewall and VPN or network security technologies. The legacy vendors are worried about getting disrupted, so they all kind of say, I'm Zero Trust as well. Now, a quick summary on Zero Trust. In the world of Zero Trust, your applications are merely destinations. Your users and devices are all untrusted. There's no routable network sitting between the two that you get on it and you go wherever you need to go. That Zero Trust exchange sits in the middle. It starts with identity. Who are you? That's the first point. Second, where are you going? You could specify application A or B or C rather than putting people on the network. 3, knowing that identity can be stolen. We need to compute risk about more things. Potentially device posture, device type policy, probably user risk based on behavior, perhaps inspecting traffic and finding things that change the policy dynamically on the fly to say, do you connect or do you not? And then you get connected to external applications with ZIA, simple connection, outside in, and ZPA with an inside-out connection, so we hide your applications. So Zero Trust, starting with identity, device posture check, a policy engine that uses several attributes to make the right connection, and the connection gets made to the application, not to the network. Okay. That's fundamental to understand. Now, one more distinction. When I talk to many customers, they kind of say, well, Yeah, but that's what the firewall guys said too. Okay. So here is the difference between the two architectures. In Zero Trust, you're like a switchboard. You come, we terminate connection, we decide, and we check the attributes, we make the connection. In case of firewall, it's like a bridge. Once the bridge opens up, the connection is made, the traffic starts flowing through, and then you worry about it, then you try to build segments. Let's create a segment, segment, segment. It's like you built a highway that connects everything. And now you want to create some of the tolls and off-ramps and on-ramps. Doesn't practically work. That's why Zero Trust architecture that we put out, our customers love it because it is very easy to implement and it makes things easier. To make sure there's clarity about this architecture, we've written 2 books, Zero Trust for Architects at a technical level and Zero Trust for CXO at the management level. Pick up a copy of these complimentary books and pass it on to your teams as well. All of you are familiar with Zscaler Internet Access, Zscaler Private Access. The two together allow you to access any application from anywhere without thinking about the network. Network simply becomes plumbing. It's simply the transport. And Zscaler Digital Experience, which I know our networking leaders and end-user computing leaders love because it figures out that any of the performance issues. These 3 things together is what we call Zscaler for Users. Once you have it, we essentially eliminate the entire DMZ, inbound DMZ, outbound DMZ. Okay. It allows you to cost justify the solution pretty easily, pretty simply. I was talking to the CIO of a large healthcare company yesterday, and the discussion was, in today's hard environment, how do you get business justification for new projects? He said, with Zscaler, it was easy. I said, what do you mean? He said, we are able to eliminate a lot of point products. The cost justification wasn't hard at all. I challenge you to think about it. Unless you think about removing a lot of legacy stuff, it may look like new spend. Now, our platform is growing and expanding. All of you know we started the inline cloud where we could inspect things to keep you safe, right party talking to right party. And then we built posture control for SaaS data, for public cloud data, making sure that they are not misconfigured, making sure the right permissions and right everything. And then with all that telemetry we have been collecting, we actually now have an AI cloud we're building a lot of things on, and I'm going to share some more during my talk, and then you'll have some deeper sessions on it. And this is made available, not just for users, now for workloads, IoT, OT, and B2B. All these entities need to talk to each other. We are leveraging the same core Zscaler technology to make it happen. Okay. All these solutions are packaged essentially in 4 key areas: cyber threat protection, data protection, business insights, and Zero Trust connectivity. Business insights are probably a new area we are really launching. You'll see a lot of information about it. And these things are being packaged as 4 solutions: Zscaler for Users, Zscaler for Workloads, Zscaler IoT OT, and Zscaler B2B. The goal is to help you eliminate point products, standardize on standard platform. And all this stuff is built in an integrated fashion. We did not go out and buy 10 companies and try to slap them together and say, here it is. I'm going to give you a high-level view of each of the 4 areas about what we are doing, and then there'll be next keynote-level sessions to give you a deeper view of it. So cyber threat protection. In this case, I talked about 3 major areas: minimizing your attack surface, preventing compromise, and eliminating lateral movement. If you think in these 3 terms, your cyber gets better. Rather than thinking about, do I have an IPS, do I have a NAC, do I have this thing, do I have that thing? What are we doing in this area? With our ZPA technology, We minimize your attack surface, not by selling you a DDoS technology or WAF, one more firewall, one more IPS, but simply hiding your application behind Zscaler. So they can't be discovered from the internet, they can't be attacked. Becomes very good. Prevent compromise. You have been using Zscaler Internet Access for quite a while. Now it's powered by AR, but has a bunch of technologies to really make sure whether it's phishing or it's malware attacks. We use a number of techniques from sandboxing to DNS controls to various kind of other controls. The key thing is SSL inspection done at scale, and we do it better than anybody else out there because we designed our system for that. So preventing compromise is critical. Lateral threat movement is the biggest problem enterprises are facing. You talk to any customer who has had a breach. Chances are 90% that lateral threat movement played a role. And guess what? To solve it, they buy a bunch more firewalls and boxes to build network segments and all. The goal is really to go away and look at a zero trust architecture where you connect entity to entity rather than putting them on the network. We will have a session that's going to cover this, but to give you a high-level view, without worrying about network segmentation, you can actually do user-to-app segmentation. So only certain users can go to certain apps, not everyone else. Okay. You could further do app-to-app segmentation using our cloud connector technology, where you can say data center to cloud connection is through zero trust. Cloud to cloud connectivity is through zero trust. And even inside the cloud, you can have zero trust connectivity. Now, a few new innovations you're going to hear during our next level keynotes. I'm here to give you a little bit sneak of what's happening. ITDR, this is Identity Threat Detection and Response, is natural for us to provide on top of it already building. Attack surface management, we have been minimizing it. There's some more tools and services coming in that area. And Risk 360, a holistic view of the risk. These are some of the very exciting things among a number of other things we've done in the cyber threat protection area. Now, my team had a long list of charts to share with me what we had done in the past 1 year in cyber protection. I thought I couldn't really cover it all. I tried to put it in 3 buckets. In the attack surface area, things we're built and things we're building, then the prevent compromise area and eliminate threat area. Our goal is to be really integrated, comprehensive, so you don't really have to deal with multiple point products that don't work with each other. I'm very proud of the work our team has done to make our cyber threat protection comprehensive and very, very effective. The next area all of us worry about is protecting data. Data is fundamental. With everything being digitized, data can be very easily stolen. I mean, it's essentially a few clicks away. So in this area, we look at data protection in 3 buckets. The first one, discovery and classification data, whether it's sitting in your data center or public cloud or it's sitting in SaaS applications. How about understanding the posture of the data and then making sure data doesn't leak and exfiltrate? We had done a lot of work in these 3 areas. Discovery, for example, we've done some recent innovations in using AI/ML technology to automatically classify your data, whether these are legal documents, finance documents, medical documents, the like. It automatically figures out. In fact, it can do that in line as the traffic is going out. And a bunch of hardcore technologies like exact data match, EDM, index data match, OCR for recognizing optical characters, and integration Microsoft information protection. All these are things that have been done to make sure you can discover and classify your data. The second area, posture control. You're going to hear from Moinal and team during the deep dive data protection keynote. Making sure your data in SaaS application, which is more and more, is being taken care of. Making sure your data in cloud is taken care of. The whole CNAP, CSPM, CIM type of offerings are available from Zscaler. And data exfiltration, the DLP technology we have been building for several years. We do a great job with inline inspection. We got tagging technology, full TLS inspection to do that. And what we introduced in the past couple of years is our browser isolation, where you can actually stream pixels and pixels only. No data gets down out there. These innovative cases help you actually replace VDI, which is often a pretty expensive solution sitting in your data center. And most customers, most users find VDI too slow. Okay. So a quick glimpse of DLP innovations that you'll hear more about from the team. Endpoint DLP, our customer asked for over the years. It's here. Email DLP is here. CNAP, everyone talks about CNAP. No one talks about CNAP integrated with workload communication. That's what we have done as a unique functionality. And scanning contents and VMs for sensitive data. You'll learn more about these innovations for data protection. And just like I said in cyber threat, our team has done a great job in building and evolving the data protection full suite. So it is a complete offering. If you asked me 5 years ago, we're not quite there. Over the past 3-4 years, we have spent tremendous investment dollars to make sure that data protection is the best technology. So, zero trust connectivity. Our CIO told me last year, they said, Jay, Zscaler is the best networking company that sells no networking products. Okay. Our job is to make it easy and simple and really use any network simply as the transport and plumbing without having to worry about route table management and the like. But there are 4 key things you should think about when you think about zero trust architecture for the networking. Applications are merely destination. They're not resources on the network. Think about it. A network is simply a transport. Security is decoupled. You don't need to worry about network security. You need to secure the right entity to right entity. And you connect to specific applications, and you don't need to worry about having a route table network, managing routes. Think of 30,000 branches or 10,000 branches managing routes. What if those branches could be just like your home? You don't manage routes at home. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about, where your branch office becomes like Starbucks. So we make sure you have connectivity for your users, for various locations, and even cloud. Okay. I would not go into the detail of how we offer, but you'll have keynotes coming later on. They'll walk you through what gets done in all 3 areas. I do want to highlight some of the new innovations we've done in this area. You know, we have used connector technology to really client connector to get traffic to you, to Zscaler Cloud from wherever you are. We've used some of the other connectors from cloud and branch. Our customers kind of said for the branch, you give me this VM, but I don't have a place to put something on it for traffic forwarding. So, though I tried to stay away from hardware for a long, long time, listening to our customers, we are announcing a plug-and-play appliance for a branch connector. Okay. If I could show you, I really have a little box. This little box will be able to host our branch connector so that you simply drop the branch connector, this box up there. It auto-discovers the cloud, connects, provisions. Literally under 10 minutes, you're up and ready. No routes to be managed, none of that stuff is done. We work with all the networking vendors. So our goal is not to be in the networking business, but make it easy for you to get traffic as easily as possible and eliminate lateral tech movement. We have had the connector available as a VM if you have large offices. Many of our customers are using that option already. And We'll talk about the Equinix integration in a minute or so. Again, a comprehensive view of things we've done for zero trust connectivity, for users, for locations, as well as public cloud. The new service I'm personally very excited about is Risk 360. Lots of CISOs and CIOs get tired of learning about these numbers, 40,000 phishing attacks, 20,000 botnet calls, this and that. This new service that is being launched actually gives you an overall risk score for your entire company by each of the 4 areas of potential breach areas I talked about, and tells you what's happening, what's causing it, how do you improve your risk posture. A very exciting service that you're going to hear more about it later on today. The business insights we talked about. Customers are doing some very interesting stuff, especially today. They all know that they are actually spending money on hundreds of SaaS applications. Are they being used, not being used, how much, what's going on? Since we are the switchboard, we know every connection, every application by user, by number of app, by spend. So this application will help you manage your spend on some of these applications, and it's especially useful in today's tougher economic times. The next application we built was really inspiration from one of our customers, actually, Cushman & Wakefield. During COVID, they wanted to know which of their 400 offices were actually having people, not having people. Should I expand certain offices? Should I shrink certain offices? The best source of data comes from Zscaler logs. So we really built this application around location insights. You'll hear more about it. As I want to move towards the last part of my presentations, I want to give you a little bit glimpse of some of the innovative use cases and reduction of cost and complexity and time to value that people traditionally don't think about. So let's think outside the box. When I started Zscaler, I did not think of M&A would be a use case. Okay. But M&A and divestiture with Zscaler has become a very exciting use case for CIOs and CISOs because you no longer need to connect the networks and all this stuff. Every user is untrusted, every party. You simply go through our policy engine, you connect the right party to right party. If you got a project in this area, I assure you we can cut down your integration time from 10 months to probably about 10 weeks or 5 weeks. Okay. Check into it. Other exciting areas where I hear from a number of our customers. Micro branches. How long does it take for you to set up a new branch office? After you get the building and all, IT itself requires a few months. I need to order the circuit. I need to order a router. I need to order a firewall, this, that, it sits there. Now customers are simply able to do this thing in a matter of days or weeks or even hours. Micro branches for banks. We got banks who are working with us. Their micro branch is becoming cashless. Essentially, a couple of laptops or tablets with Zscaler agent, with 4G SIM card in it, connects to our cloud, talks to banking application. You can have the branch up and running in hours. Think of it. That's what makes IT progressive. That's what makes you heroes in the eyes of your management. Not trying to say, I need to keep on the same old network I've had for 30 years. Warehouses. I have seen customers, this customer in Australia set up a warehouse for IT access, literally very quickly. Again, Android-powered scanner with Zscaler agent with a 4G SIM card, connects to Zscaler Cloud ZPA, which in turn talks to SAP inventory applications. Think of how fast you can do some of these things. Retail stores are becoming essentially cashless, simply powered by Zero Trust ZPA technology. And the newest one, you're working with a few oil and gas companies. Charging stations are being set up. These guys will have thousands of charging stations. They need to be monitored. Telemetry needs to be sent back. What's the traditional way? I'm going to set up a VPN connection, so 10,000 of these stations are on my corporate network. Okay. Using Zscaler Zero Trust technologies, with simple connector sitting as an SDK in your charging station can actually give you everything you need on any network, which could be 3G, 4G, broadband, or Starlink. Doesn't matter. These are the things we can help you make it happen working together. A lot of these ideas are coming from our progressive customers, and we are making sure we can help you achieve some of these new things. It is a journey. It doesn't happen. A number of you are in different stages of the journey, and we have our teams, we have our experts, our architects to help you walk through these different stages. Okay? The big question comes up these days is, how do you save money? How do you make some of these things happen? Think holistically. Many times customers think of Zscaler, oh, it's a web proxy, oh, it's a replacement of VPN. Not quite. It replaced the entire DMZ, the cloud gateways and all. If you holistically look at what can be eliminated, you can actually simplify IT and remove a whole lot of point products, and the justification becomes much, much simpler. We all know that complexity is the enemy of security. Complexity is the enemy of resilience. So simplify the stuff. And we offer you business value assessment services. I won't go into it detail, but we have a teams who are able to work with your teams to quantify the savings from security products, networking products, operational saving, risk reduction, and the like. So the business case helps you get your project started. Okay. Last area, technology partner ecosystem. We have had a North Star, a bullseye from day one. We want to do the switchboard to connect right parties to right parties, and we do that better than anybody else out there. But some of these other areas, we have partnered with a number of our partners. You're probably familiar with us. While we are the switchboard, we work with identity providers, we work with endpoint security providers, we work with branch routers and SD-WAN providers to take traffic, and we can feed logs to solutions of your choice, SIEM solutions, or we can do ITSM integration for you. Delivering a mission-critical service. As I talk to more and more customers, what we deliver is mission-critical, and it's our responsibility, it's our duty and obligation to make sure we give you world-class service. In fact, I was talking to a CIO a few months ago. He said, Jay, congratulations. You have been designated, Zscaler has been designated as a mission-critical partner. It's only one of the 5 partners we have. Then he smiled. He said, I had to fight to get you in that list. And I was wondering, what is it? He said, for us to have someone as a top 5 designated partners, they must have a $50 million annual spend with the company, and we spent a lot less with you, so it was hard. Then he smiled. He said, I don't know if you feel good about it or bad about it, but the message is clear to us. Our customers expect proper capacity, availability, performance, and security of the cloud. And as the CEO, it's my #1 priority to make sure we do things that need to be done. There's a keynote that Misha will deliver about resilience and what we do, but I can assure you that we're looking at all aspects of resilience, from making sure the software development and dev testing is done right, so we don't have the issue that SolarWinds have. Make sure upgrades get done right, the monitoring and incident management gets done right. Overall, you think about the issues that you see with the cloud, they can fall in 3 buckets. There's a blackout situation when something is totally gone. It rarely happens. We had one situation once, about 8-9 years ago, when Sandy hurricane happened in New York, and entire Manhattan was flooded. But our architecture designed such that the traffic automatically moves to the next data center, helped our customers. The brownouts could be harder, and the catastrophic is kind of DR kind of situation. We actually announced a disaster recovery service, first cloud security company, or the only cloud security company that actually has a disaster recovery service. I encourage you to take a look at it and configure it. it's already part of most of the bundles you have, and it's not hard to deploy and test. Brownout is interesting. Things are working, but they're kind of working. An interesting thing we had was in Marseille, France. 6-7 months ago, there was vandalism of undersea cable got cut. Okay. Since we have the ability to control routes, we are actually able to route the traffic around for our customers with minimal impact. These are the kind of things you only get when you work with a vendor who is mature, who has seen the world with 45-some million users around the globe using us. As I try to wrap up, I want to thank you, a lot of our customers. I've listed some of the largest ones, but that's not the only focus. We care for our customers. It's full obsession. It's one of our core values. I want to thank you for your business. I want to thank you for your partnership. The scale. The company's name stands for scalability, Zenith or scalability. Our focus is to enable your organization to scale. Look at the kind of traffic. Our traffic is doubling about every 18 months or so. Nobody out there has the experience to deal with that kind of traffic. Not only that, the threats, the network effect allows us to figure things out that won't be figured by other vendors. Customer support, the tickets, it remains a priority today. We are about 1.7 support tickets per billion transactions. You see the graph. The number has been coming down. Our goal is to make sure we keep on bringing it down. Okay. I'm going to skip through some of the other numbers. I'm proud of Net Promoter Score, NPS score, which is over 70, because we work with you closely. Our field teams, our sales teams, our customer success team, and our partners are all working together to make sure your service is good. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about ESG as an important area. We've taken it very seriously. And we had met some very, very good goals. To really not only achieve 100% renewable energy, we are really shooting for, in 2025, to be net zero emissions company. So proud of what we're doing. Thank you. My closing comments. We did this exercise recently. We have spent over $1.7 billion cumulatively on Zscalers for technology investments to really do what we're doing for you. And there's a 15 million plus lines of code that our engineers and developers have written to give you comprehensive, deep, and wide functionality. And our investment area falls in 3 big buckets. Cloud RaaS remains our #1 priority. Your customer experience, deployment, ongoing support is a big focus area. And comprehensive platform, expanding the platform in right areas that are synergistic is how I look at the business. And R&D philosophy, I summarize that RISE, resilience will always be #1, knowing that cloud is mission critical. Innovation, you see lots of innovations we've done. Speed, we want to keep on delivering innovations at speed. And of course, efficiency is important to be able to do more with less, to be smart about it. So we're doing all this to go back to what I said early on, to empower your business, to make sure you have full security, simplicity with consolidation, standardization, automation, and productive business with great experience, agility, and even things like M&A, time to value. Okay. Coming back to the note I started on, our businesses are changing fast. IT and technologies are playing a massive role. You as leaders are playing a big role. Technology by itself does nothing without a proper mindset. So think of cultural and mindset change, and knowledge and conviction is fundamental to drive changes. Otherwise, people remain uncomfortable. This conference is about making sure you get the right knowledge, right conviction by talking to your peers and talking to Zscaler experts here. And since inertia holds us back and change is the biggest thing that helps for the success of the business, And I'll leave with you with the thought that change seems uncomfortable. But once you know the new technology, new solutions, disruptive changes, you actually become comfortable and you start doing things, making your business productive. Bold and curious will succeed. Think about it. It's easy to sit back, but bold and taking some calculated risk is what you need. With that, I want to thank you all for being our customers and partners. I want to thank all Zscaler employees who have been working hard to make our customers happy. I want to thank all of our partners without whom we won't be able to serve you. Thank you and see you around.